He was too small for Hollywood, too different for tradition, too ahead of his time for the world to understand. They said he didn't belong, but he didn't come to belong. He came to change everything. This is the story of Bruce Lee, the man who refused to be limited. Bruce Lee was born in 1940 in San Francisco, but he grew up in Hong Kong. From the very beginning, his life was divided between cultures. Not fully American, not fully Chinese, he existed in between. As a child, he was not calm or disciplined. He was energetic, restless, often getting into trouble. Fights were common, not for fame, but for survival. And in those streets, one thing became clear. If he was going to survive, he needed to become stronger. Bruce Lee turned to martial arts, not as a hobby, but as a necessity. He began training in Wing Chun under the legendary master Ip Man. But even here, he faced resistance. Some students refused to train with him. Why? Because of his mixed heritage. Even in the place meant to build strength, he was still seen as different. But instead of quitting, he trained harder, faster, sharper, more focused. He wasn't just learning how to fight, he was learning how to adapt. As a teenager, Bruce Lee moved back to the United States, a new country, a new life, but the same problem followed him, not fitting in. He worked small jobs, studied, and began teaching martial arts, but he did something controversial. He taught everyone, not just one race, not just one group. This angered traditional martial artists, because in their eyes, some knowledge was not meant to be shared. But Bruce Lee believed something different. Knowledge belongs to those willing to learn. Bruce Lee was not just a fighter, he was a thinker. He studied philosophy deeply, and he began questioning everything. Why must martial arts be rigid? Why follow fixed styles? Why limit human movement? And from those questions, he created something new. A philosophy called Jeet Kune Do, not a style, but a concept. Using no way as way, having no limitation as limitation. This changed everything, because Bruce Lee was no longer following systems. He was creating his own. Bruce Lee's talent was undeniable. His speed, his presence, his charisma. But Hollywood didn't see him the same way. They saw his race, his accent, his difference. They didn't see a leading man. They saw a side character. He was given small roles, minor appearances, never the spotlight he deserved. And then came the moment that defined his path. A major show was created based on his ideas, but he was not chosen as the lead. Instead, someone else took the role. For many people, that would have been the end. But for Bruce Lee, it was the beginning. If Hollywood would not accept him, he would build something bigger. Bruce Lee returned to Hong Kong, and there, everything changed. His films exploded in popularity. The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon. He wasn't just acting, he was dominating the screen. His fighting style was real, his energy was raw, his presence was unforgettable, and suddenly, the world could not ignore him anymore. Bruce Lee became a global icon, not just in Asia, but across the world. He shattered stereotypes. He proved that an Asian actor could be a global star, martial arts could be cinematic art, philosophy could live inside action. His final major project, Enter the Dragon, was set to introduce him fully to Hollywood. This was the moment everything aligned. The struggle, the rejection, the years of building, everything was about to pay off. And then, at the age of 32, Bruce Lee died. Suddenly, unexpectedly, the world was shocked. A life full of potential ended too soon, but something powerful remained: his work, his philosophy, his impact. Bruce Lee's story is not about fighting. It is about freedom. Freedom from labels, expectations, limitations. He showed the world that you don't have to fit into a system. You can become your own. He was rejected, doubted, misunderstood, but he never stopped evolving. And that is why his legacy still lives today. Because Bruce Lee didn't just change martial arts, he changed how people see themselves.